to
Like
be a
I'm
playoff
about to give you a
contender
little
though.
bucket. Let me see what who's it? Bootsy. What do you mean? Like, what did Shedeur do that wasn't humble? Besides, besides winning gold chains, what did he do?
I didn't say Shedeur wasn't humble. I just said Cam was.
I know, but I'm saying you kind of you have that little aura of Shedeur is not
Damn,
humble.
Boosie or
You say
That you
you
got
say
that
what?
aura that Shedeur was not humble. Like you was like Shedeur can't do whatever. Like what has he done that was really like, but because he's brought people cars, his teammates and stuff. When the
Oh,
other guys
you talking about another
crap,
conversation. I mean, you talking about a different conversation. Okay. I don't think the conversation is about him being humble or not. It was just more so that he approaches his, his approach is more of what you would see from like a wide receiver or a DB. Not a QB. Just his mannerisms and things of that nature. And that could be
all right.
because that's could be because of who his dad is, right? And I just think it's probably just different for a lot of folks, especially the folks in executive offices and some coaches.
I mean, so it goes back to the chain, right? Like he had the chain on, but like, has he
Yeah,
said anything?
the
I didn't
interview
say
part.
chains. I mean, I'm not. I mean, I guess the chains is more typical of like of a
It
person
was the interview
in those
process.
positions.
He showed up to the
Go ahead, Bucky.
interviews with his chain and his hat on backwards. That's what threw people off.
Yeah.
Who's that
Yeah,
speaking?
but Tony Dungy
Motivated?
said that too.
Man,
That
that's a part of the drip. That's part of the swag, man.
when he was
He ain't got
in,
nothing to do with
Oh,
yeah, when he
humble,
was
man.
meeting with those teams at the NFL Combine, he had his hat
Yeah, you
backwards.
can have drip and swag,
Yeah.
but when it's time to sit down and have a job interview, you need to put all that stuff to the side.
Right.
Absolutely. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, I've said it before. Being a quarterback, it comes with a certain prestige and
Now,
certain expectations. And
now, hold on. Let's be fair. Let's be fair. Did we see him at these interviews with his hat on backwards?
Yeah, he was. They videoed it with Bucky and him
mm,
on Willow.
Which video? What team?
When they was no
The
when he was going into
entire
those rooms to meet with those teams,
yeah, the
he's
entire
videoing him
combine,
walking in there with his
the
backpack.
entire combine, he was like that.
mm,
Yeah,
mm.
he did
Yeah,
have
the
some
entire
earphones in
combine
his
he was
ear.
like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
they,
All
they
right.
I mean they're just gonna expect a certain professionalism from you.
And what
If
people
you're a
don't
QB,
understand,
man.
after that BYU game, he had a fourth round grade.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
So the interview process made him drop even more.
yeah. I mean, I think
Yeah,
he's probably just the first to really approach it like that. You know what I'm saying? So he's
They
gonna be
yeah.
saying
penalized. He's
Jackson
gonna be
Dart had
penalized
his head
for it.
turned backwards.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I was like, but others have done it, so what are we talking about?
Well, Jackson Dart didn't have a fourth round grade.
I don't
I,
Shador
like
didn't
it.
have
I
no.
don't like
Shador
it
didn't have a
because
fourth round grade. He had a first round grade.
And
No,
I
he
think
had a fourth round grade in December. No,
yeah.
he
yeah, I think
didn't.
those that come after Shedeur are gonna have to deal with the penalties
Mel
that
Kiper
he
didn't
did.
have him no fourth round grade. I know that.
The GMs, the Bro, the scouts.
Mm.
Giants, the Steelers, the Saints, they
Yeah.
didn't have a fourth round No. grade, bro.
we're
Stop
not
the
going there for
GMs and the
fashion. We're not
scouts.
going there for fashion. We're not there for his fashion. We're there to see, his
You saying we?
mindset.
You're not an executive. You know what I'm
Yeah, the
saying? Like
GMs,
you can't
the
like
GMs
we're on
and the
social
scouts
media.
had a
In
We
fourth
get
general,
down.
round.
you already know what I'm talking about. So in general, don't even do that. Anyways,
No,
back
we
to my
no.
point. Back to my point. You're going there for his mindset. You're going there for his talent. You're going to assess this player. You're not going there to look at his fashion.
Right. So if you're already at a fourth round, you don't go He
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm.
the
Mm.
Senior
Mm.
Bowl.
Mm.
Quit saying that, bro. It's the truth.
Mm.
It's not the truth. It
Yeah.
is.
Some people had him as fourth round. Some people had him as the first
That's
round.
what I'm trying to tell
Mm.
you.
Mm.
You niggas had
Mm.
him
Mm.
as
Mm.
a
Mm.
fourth
Mm.
round draft pick. So when you don't work out in the Senior Bowl, you don't go to the Reese's Bowl, you don't work out in the combine, and then you have bad interviews. That's how you get picked in the fifth round. It's easy. I can agree he had probably had a bad interview, but he wasn't a fourth round grade because why did
Yeah.
every NFL team go to his
Mm.
pro day?
Mm-hmm.
Even on the board. He
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
at
yeah.
the
He got to go to
Well,
his pro day.
motivated, dedicated. Why did he have the biggest pro day than everybody? Like
If
why
he's
did
a
so many
fourth
people
round
showed
pick, that
up?
makes no sense.
Yeah.
But was it his
to
pro day or
see
was
if
it
he
there for
can
Travis?
improve.
You can't just say it was just for him because I'm pretty sure a
Who else
lot
would
of
they
people
come
came
for?
for Travis too.
They didn't see
Everybody was
LaJohntay,
there at his pro
Will
day to see if he
Shepherd,
can improve his
Jimmy
stock.
Horn. They didn't see all these people, but him and Travis. Them the only two people they haven't seen.
I remember Shedeur didn't work out at the combine, so the only way they could see him is to come to the pro day.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So they was there for
But
them
All those
and
teams came to
Travis.
see
no,
Travis. What are you
remember
talking
Travis showed up late. Y'all remember that? Travis didn't even work out. He wasn't expecting to run the route. He popped up
But you,
late.
but you, but you got to realize you got to put Travis in a different boat, man. Like,
Travis came to help Shedeur. He didn't have
yeah,
to.
yeah.
His
Travis,
position was already solidified.
he
Yeah,
was
Travis
only
was top
there for
five
Shedeur.
either way. Yeah, Travis was
Yeah.
top five either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, across the board with many football analysts, they all agreed second to third round.
Well, yeah, that's the analyst. That's not the team
Yeah,
exec.
that's my point I'm trying to
But
make.
I mean, they are
That's
getting information from
no,
reliable sources.
No,
So
no. The teams got their own assessments. It's different.
yeah,
When
yeah.
you
Okay.
talk about media,
All right. Well,
Mel
if y'all
Kiper is
saying
the
that,
yeah,
analyst.
okay,
but the
He's
even
been
media is
on for
getting their
30 something
source
years.
from the teams. So
nah, it's not necessarily true. Mel Kiper, no teams are
Yeah,
getting their assessments from Mel Kiper.
yeah. Mel Kiper is
No,
always wrong.
all right. So if that's the case, what y'all saying? Every team that have him in the fourth. Some people had him earlier than that.
Yeah, I'm
But
not
they
saying
did have
all
him in the
32
fourth. Why
teams
did he
have
go
him
to the
fourth
fifth?
because of his interviews.
So
yeah, I
motivated.
mean,
Let me get this right. So
that's
what
all
you saying
speculation.
motivated is he already had a fourth round grade on him, and once he didn't
After the
participate in
BYU
the
game,
combine, and once he didn't
yeah.
play in the Senior Bowl, it dropped his stock even more.
No, no,
Y'all
no.
going off of
Listen.
one
It was
coach that said that. That was the Giants. Ain't
it
nobody
was a
else said that but
combination
the
of things.
Giants.
It was a combination of things. You you
Ain't
you
nobody
don't
said that
you
but the
don't
Giants,
compete
bro.
in the
You
Senior
don't know what you're
Bowl.
talking about, bro. Hush.
You're in the fourth round. You don't compete in the Senior Bowl. You don't compete in the Reese's Pieces. This is the best of the best, right? Senior Bowl Reese's Pieces.
Cam Ward didn't
These are
participate in
the
none of
best
that
of the
stuff
best.
Yeah,
either,
I was
bro.
gonna
So
say
that's
there's
not
a
Jordan
lot of great
Howard
that's
players
not
uh,
that
a
choose
that's not an
not to
assessment, bro.
for
Cam
That's
the
Ward
just
didn't
reasons.
get a
that's
fourth
just off
round
of opinion.
grade.
That's
That's what
what
I'm
you
trying to
talking about.
tell
That's
y'all.
our opinion, bro. You don't know what you're talking about.
No,
No,
but
no, this
the
is what
number
the
one
GMs
overall
and the
pick don't
scouts
have
said.
to do that. The number one player don't have to participate in anything.
Yeah,
Nobody knew
that's what I
Cam
keep
Ward was the
telling
number one
you.
pick until 3 to 4
Yeah.
days
So
later.
Yes, they
when
did.
you
They
don't work
negotiate
out
behind the
and all
scenes,
you
bro.
do is a pro day,
yeah, promo right, promo right.
yeah,
Everybody thought Shedeur was going maybe would have went first pick or
everybody
Travis would
said
have
No,
went first
no,
media,
pick. Well,
no, they
not
nobody
didn't,
the
was
bro.
thinking
GMs.
about that until 4 to 5 days before the
If
draft. And
everybody
everybody was
thought
like,
this, then how
Titans
come
might
32
pick
teams
up
passed
Cam
on him?
Ward, bro. You nobody
How
know what
come,
y'all talking about,
how
bro.
come the
Hush, bro.
Steelers passed on him 4 times?
You said what?
How come the Steelers passed on him 4 times?
What you
Hey,
mean? They wanted Aaron Rodgers.
yeah, I think it was pretty consistent, at least in media, that Shador is going to be the second quarterback coming off the
And
board.
that's what I'm saying. And they get their
What
information from reliable
but
sources.
whatever these teams graded him was apparently very different
Yeah.
from what the media had. And I think that's what like Lou Riddick said and some other folks have said.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was some disparity there, and it probably due to the interviews. I'm not
A
sure.
bunch of teams
Well,
passed on him over and over and over again because he had a fourth round grade.
no.
No, it wasn't. That wasn't the problem, bro.
Okay, I have a reliable source from my Threads account, and he works within that realm. And he said that there was talks that among the NFL owners, there was an agreement not to pick Shador
Oh my
to
goodness.
a
Come on.
certain round.
That's
So
garbage.
when the Browns picked him when they weren't supposed to pick him. So that explained the reaction that you've seen. It explained the reaction.
The GMs, the owner forced
Yeah,
them to pick Shador. That's why you seen the reaction.
So
That's not.
yeah.
It was an agreement not to pick him until a certain round, and the Browns were
No,
not supposed to
because
get
he
him
had a
that
fourth
round.
round
So when the
grade.
owner from the Browns told them to get him, That's the shock. That's what you've seen.
Okay.
So
I mean,
take
everybody
32
got
people.
that. She got a conspiracy theory. It's all cool. I
Yeah,
mean,
He
No,
got
that's
exactly.
Well,
not
the
a
bro
explain
conspiracy
got
it
his
to me,
theory. That's not a
conspiracy
motivated.
she
theory.
just
conspiracy
will. She
theory.
got her theory. I
32
mean,
people gonna agree
Bro
on
got
This
one
his
is
thing.
from
theory as well.
reliable
It ain't just
sources,
her,
so we
it's him
can't
too.
say.
But
32
think
people
about
all gonna agree on one thing.
No, it wasn't that. It was the fact that what's the head coach name? Dabo from the head coach from the Giants.
Brian.
Brian Dabo. It was him that basically said he put the word out that he came unprepared and this and that. And then when
No,
that
no,
word
no,
got
don't
around
leave
the
out the
No,
NFL,
details.
that's
no,
when
Don't leave
that's
out the
certain
wrong.
teams didn't
details.
No,
want him.
no, that's already wrong because
and Bucky
there
now she
was.
gonna get you.
That's the truth. That's the truth though. He came out though.
you
Okay,
you
so
defending her. So what's going on? Go
okay,
ahead.
I'm explaining. Okay, so the with the Brian Dayball thing, he is just known for his particular interview process. He puts every quarterback, and you can look and go through different feeds and see the footage of the process he puts quarterbacks through. So and I mean, it's a hard process. He wants you to draw up a play, memorize it, repeat it back to him, then he'll change it, then you have to repeat it again without looking at the board. So it's a very, very vigorous process that he puts these quarterbacks through. So Shedora could have struggled through that. We don't
Shadura,
know.
Shadura.
Shedura.
And,
Well, how
So
do
I'm
you
trying
and
to
say his
figure out.
name?
I'm just trying to figure out
hold
what
on, hold
to.
on. Let me add
Shedora?
this too, y'all.
Shedora?
Let me add
I said
this. And
Shedora.
the Giants, they did something where they had some little poison pills in the
Right.
questions and something that they asked him where stuff was wrong, and Shedeur didn't catch it. But they
Wait,
said
how do
Shedeur
you
and the
say it?
Bro,
Giants.
how did hold on. How did y'all
We're
agree to what I just said? And then y'all said no, that's not what
yeah. I'm
happened.
trying to figure out like which you gotta pick
That's
one. You
exactly
gotta do
what I just
bucket or
said.
motivated. Like which pick one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
yeah,
trying to
that
figure out
is
how to
what
pronounce
Bucky
these
said.
names right.
But for what it is like from what I'm hearing, the Giants had a lot of stuff that they were trying to do that was kind of funky. I don't know if they do everybody like this, but
They do. You can go through the video and look at it.
we go blame his fifth round draft pick on the Giants. One team out of 32 made him drop 5 rounds.
all right.
But
Well,
let's
let's
be real though. It's only 4 teams that really needed a quarterback, so you can't really say all 32.
And see, that's
yeah.
another thing. That's another thing is if you looked at the draft, it was a lot heavy on offensive line and defensive line.
Yeah.
So that was the need. That was the need for a lot of teams. And you kind of like piggyback off of like the Super Bowl winning teams. So when they seen how the Eagles performed, they were like, "Oh, we got to have an offensive line. We got to have a defensive line." And so
Hey,
everybody
Big
went
Tiger,
heavy on that.
what team did you thought he was going to, Tiger?
I thought he was gonna go to Miami. I thought because all the stuff and like Tua just sold his house too, so I thought they was gonna try to get a backup for Tua. That's what I thought. That would have been perfect.
Yeah, I like that one.
So check this out. So there's been multiple um conversations or multiple people have come out and said multiple things. Earlier today, I saw a interview with the Doers, one of his media guys, and was talking about how the Giants was one of the main teams that were always up in Boulder. They developed a relationship with him real early for the last 2 years, and that their preparation reason or the lack of preparation wasn't the factor. I guess it was Shador's response to feeling as though he was, um, being played or whatever like that with that situation with the Giants. But also, there was a level of comfortability there to where he felt as though that he was comfortable with them, and therefore that they had pretty much told him that kind of like he was their guy. Okay, that's kind of one situation with that. Even though it is still a job interview and all that other stuff, there can be a level of comfortability there when you have a
He
relationship with
worked out
somebody you
with Malik,
built.
he worked out with Malik Neighbors, right?
No, yeah, that
Yeah,
was during the Heisman
that
when he wanted
yeah,
the Heisman.
that was doing that time. But I'm talking about during the
He didn't work
season.
out with Malik Neighbors. What y'all talking
But
about?
but
Yeah,
doing
he did.
doing this during the
He threw the
season.
ball to Malik
Threw a ball.
Neighbors.
That
Working
was
out
in the
with
Right,
him.
that was
street. How is
that
that
was
working out with
outside in
him?
the
He threw
street
the
when he
ball
went.
in the street.
That was
How's
in
that
New York
working out
Yeah,
City
with
on
him?
the street.
Come
That was
on,
New
bro.
York City. I'm talking about the last 2 years up in Boulder that the Giants and other teams were coming there pretty frequently, almost once a week, developing a relationship with Shedeur. So that's one situation there where they felt as though there was a level of comfortability that he felt that was there. That if you go in the room like, okay, these my peeps or whatever like that, whatever that
And he had the
situation is,
custom Giants
that's
cleats. He had the custom cleats too, right?
Yeah,
that's one
but remember the
that's one
Giants head
situation.
coach, head coach never came to see him.
Right,
He
right.
talking about the Ace Bud interview with the
The
Browns.
Yeah, I know
right,
exactly what you're
right,
talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right. So that's one situation. The other situation is that Boomer Esiason said that he was told that it was multiple owners that said, "Do not draft him, take him off the board."
I saw
There's
that interview too.
there
And
was
that's
That's
the
multiple owners.
surprise
that's
safety
a
team with
rumor
the
though.
Browns.
That's a rumor from Boomer Science. You can't trust that, man.
Nah,
Well, I'm
No,
listen,
Raiders
it's
listen,
not a
Shug.
Sure.
rumor. This came
I
from
think
Raiders
that
reliable
confirmed it.
did
sources.
Boomer Esiason actually say that corners were telling other owners to take him off the board, or they were telling their staff to take him off the
They were
board?
no, that
They
they were
tell-
telling their staff to take him off the
Okay,
board.
okay, okay. That's
Raiders
what I heard
Yeah,
too.
confirmed that,
yeah.
by
I
the way.
got you.
Multiple owners were telling their staff, take him off the board.
Hmm.
Don't
That's
I
right.
don't want this guy.
Right.
And that has nothing to do with skill set. That happens. That just happens to do. They felt as though they don't want him as the quarterback representing their organization. So,
Right.
Yeah,
and the
you
reason why
basically
reason why I brought the
yeah.
reason why I brought that point up is because the brother that's talking is saying that, oh, why all these people because of his draft grade, and I'm saying that if these owners are saying telling their people do not draft him, take him off the board, which has nothing to do with his skill set, is that they don't want him to represent their organization as being the face or the quarterback there. That ain't have nothing to do with skill. That had everything to do with relatability. So
Hmm.
at the end, so
Yeah,
at the,
yeah. I think the lady with the pink hat. I don't think you were saying the same thing he's saying,
No,
right?
no, that's
He
exactly what I
no,
was.
no, no. You were saying more of like a collusion thing as
How
owners
are
were
you gonna
talk.
say? No,
Oh,
I said the exact same thing. I said the
Uh oh,
exact
no.
same thing. I
I don't know
said,
about that. Roll with it
She
though.
did say
play
Roll
it
something
with it.
back.
similar. She was
Play
like,
it back.
they
Let's
they
play it
said
back and
So
see what I
which
said.
owner admitted that they
Uh,
took which owner admitted?
The
Have you heard
Raiders.
from
well,
any owner?
well, hold on. Let me ask motivated this right here. Motivated. Why would the Cleveland Browns give Shedeur number 12 when number 2 was available?
He can buy number 12. Number two, it's a cornerback that has number two. He can
No,
no,
buy
it's a
that
No, it's
number
wide
not a
it was a
cornerback.
wide
It's a wide
wide
receiver.
receiver.
yeah, wide
it was a
receiver.
wide
Yeah, yeah,
receiver, but Shador had an opportunity to get that number before that wide receiver got the number.
Yeah,
No,
they
he
just picked
didn't.
him
The
up.
wide
They
receiver
just picked
picked
up
his
the wide receiver.
number on March. They already
well,
Yeah.
yeah, the
confirmed it.
wide receivers. How long has the wide receiver been on the team?
No, he just
Deion,
got there.
DeAndre Carter.
Yeah.
he's a
They
veteran in
say
the
he picked
league.
his number in
Yeah,
March, bro.
he's been in the league for what, 7, 8 years?
But yeah, he was with the Bears, I think, last team he was with.
So you gonna not give a veteran his number, but give a
But
rookie who ain't took
he's
a
never
snap the
had that
number?
number 2 in the league. He had that shit in high school. Every NFL team he played for, he's never had number 2.
Well, let me take that back then. Well, maybe he couldn't get it. Maybe somebody else had the number 2, and this is the first time the number 2 was
Yeah, it
open.
was Amari Cooper.
I'm sure if he get a dude like 300 grand, that dude will give him number two.
Nah, the
They
dude
might
already
give
came out and said it. He said he won't
they
be
might
wearing
give
number 2
vets
in Cleveland.
priority.
Yeah, I think
What
that
what
I
the
dude
mean,
said
dude
he
came
won't.
out and said what?
a number ain't a big deal in
The,
Shedeur
he made the
situation. He just
dude
need to go out and
responded
ball,
back
bro.
to that. He said he won't be wearing number 2 in Cleveland. That's what he said.
Yeah, that
Bro,
12 is
you
gonna
just
look
need to
good
go out
anyway.
and ball, bro. Forget the number. Who cares
That
about the
12 gonna
number?
look nice though.
Yeah, but I'm
Well,
saying
this
forget
is
about the
why.
number. Try to win that spot.
But this is why the number is important because you got branding. You got
But
like how
yeah,
they
I
had
was
the
gonna say
jersey.
branding, but I mean, you can always rebrand.
I
Yeah.
mean, you can, but like, what kind of teammate is this guy? If you know Shadeur coming there, he the top selling jersey, all this kind of stuff. So you think these people they buying the number 12 jersey, or they think they finna get a number 2 jersey?
Well, let me
Like,
ask you this: if you let's say you 4-string quarterback,
mm-hmm.
right? No, I'm the 4-string quarterback. You the starting wide receiver. Are you gonna give me your number?
No,
I'm
Okay, all right.
4-string.
So
I'm
let's say
4-string
this.
quarterback, and I
Let's say
want the
this.
number you got.
All right.
I'm
So
not going to
let's say all right.
give you
So will Shedeur be wrong if he end up being a starter and he don't throw the ball to Buddy?
And
come
by the
on,
way, he not a
come on,
first
Tiger.
name receiver. By
You
the
being
way,
petty.
Now,
he not a.
because he being
I'm
petty.
just making up a scenario.
Hey, by the way, he's not a first name receiver.
I'm
Yeah,
just
like we
making up
don't
a
even know this
scenario.
dude for real. So
Yeah, if he
what if
don't run the ball and the
Shedeur?
dude is open, he gonna get benched.
Well, no,
Not
they can
really.
cut him. Well, they
That
can
means
cut him.
open wide receivers all the time.
The contract
If
ain't
that's a
guaranteed.
wide open wide
But Tiger,
receiver
we
for a
don't
team
know.
and
We
he
don't know that
don't
like their
he
system.
refuses to throw the ball, he gonna get benched.
But y'all
Well, they
answer the
can.
question. Would Shedeur be wrong if Buddy wide open? Because now Buddy get cut. Guess who Shedeur can get his number?
No,
Well,
no. If
Shedeur can
Shedeur
get
is
cut too.
starting, he'll be able to get his number. But I'm
And
Yeah,
plus,
saying
they
we
said
don't
the
even know. We
numbers
don't
is
even
not
know
even
It's
if
finalized
he's
until
temporary.
the
week 1.
It's
backup
temporary.
quarterback, the practice squad quarterback. We don't know where he's going to be right now.
Shedeur
Yeah.
can get cut before training camp.
So
That's what I'm
that's
saying.
what I'm saying. So
Shedeur ain't
look,
getting cut.
if this dude and Shedeur is on the field at the same time, Shedeur can control Buddy outcome.
But man, listen, vets get priority. It doesn't. I don't think it's this big of a deal, bro. Like
Right.
he does what he got to do in camp. If he ends up being a starter, he'll get 2 back. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's a
bro, they
rookie.
don't
Man.
care,
He
bro.
gonna be buying donuts and coffee, man. He's a rookie, man.
Yeah.
Bro, have you ever played football?
What are you talking about, bro? Hey, little bucket, let me know when you play Division One, bro.
Bro, you ain't playing no D1, bro.
I
Hush,
got a
bro.
picture of me signing my scholarship, bro, at the Naval Academy. What are you talking about?
Show it right now.
Oh, I
I'll
had a
show
partner
it to
play
you
at
right
Naval
now.
Academy.
Hey,
I
so
I
can
didn't know
how
you
do
show
played.
y'all
I didn't
feel
know you
about this
played
right
in
here?
Indianapolis.
Hey,
Show it
Oh
right now. I don't
no.
want to hear you talking till you show it, bro.
How